A major resignation on Tuesday in Great Britain as the Archbishop of Canterbury, Justin Welby, stepped down for mishandling an abuse case involving what's believed to be the most prolific serial abuser associated with the Church of England. Welby has been one of the world's major faith leaders and has played a central role in British state occasions, including at the funeral of Queen Elizabeth II and the coronation of King Charles. But in resigning, the head of the Anglican Church admitted he had not done enough to lead a vigorous investigation into the abuses committed by lawyer and influential Christian John Smythe, who ran charity-organized summer camps for boys in Britain and also met boys through morality talks he gave at private schools. It is believed Smythe abused more than 100 boys and young men in Britain and later in South Africa and Zimbabwe over 5 decades, subjecting them to brutal physical beatings and sexual, psychological, and spiritual attacks. Welby learned of the claims in 2013 after he became Archbishop, but did not report them to police. Smythe died in 2018 and was never criminally investigated. Welby is the most senior leader of a large historic church to ever resign in connection with sexual abuse scandals. To discuss the significance of this resignation, we are joined now by Edward Pentin, senior correspondent for the National Catholic Register. He joins us from Canterbury, England. Edward, thank you for joining us. How significant and how surprising is this news of Welby's resignation following reports of his mishandling of this sexual abuse crisis?
Yes, well, it's very significant, Catherine, because this is the first time that an Archbishop of Canterbury, who's from the Anglican Church, of course, has resigned due to a scandal. This has never happened even before the Reformation. There were two resignations before the Reformation. They weren't because of scandal. And since 1928, Archbishops of Canterbury have stayed on until the age of 70, or at least they stayed on. They retired, rather. So this is very unprecedented.
Mm-hmm. And Edward, what's been the reaction by the faithful in Britain? How has this news been received?
Yes, well, I think most feel it was the right thing to do. The evidence was stacked against Archbishop of Canterbury. He admitted he hadn't done enough, and I think it was such a serious case that many people think it was right for him to go. Others are being quite sympathetic. They say that the safeguards that were there, that weren't there at that time in 2013 when he found out about it, and they've been instituted since then. So they think, and also he'd only just become Archbishop at the time. But I think overall, most people think it was the right thing to have done.
And Edward, can you give us some more background as to how the Church of England's relationship is with the Catholic Church? Explain that dynamic for us.
Sure. Yes. I mean, it's not obviously part of the Catholic Church. It was split from Rome in the Reformation in the 16th century. So but there have been closer relations with the Anglican Church since the 1960s, at least on a sort of ecumenical basis. And Francis and Pope Francis and Archbishop Welby had a good relationship, and I think so I've heard that they have almost identical views. So that's going to be a blow to Pope Francis.
Absolutely. And Edward, can Welby's resignation, can it be compared to anything that we've seen in our Catholic Church in the wake of our own sexual abuse crisis?
Yes, I mean, we've seen Catholic bishops resign because of abuse scandals. We had Cardinal Bernard Law, of course, in Boston. We had Bishop of Bruges in Belgium in 2010, and just this year we had 2 Polish bishops who resigned because of mishandling abuse cases. So this isn't unprecedented in the Catholic Church, and of course Pope Francis has his own problems with mishandling abuse cases. We had the 2018 the problems with Chile, where he defended a bishop who later turned out to have been guilty. And then we, of course, have had the Father Rupnik case, the former Jesuit who's given preferential treatment despite having sexual and spiritual abuse, committing sexual and spiritual abuse against nuns in his care. So we've had some serious problems of our own, but this is we haven't, of course, had a resignation like from the top, like Archbishop of Canterbury, but we have had bishops resigning because of it.
Just a follow-up to that, Edward, do you think this resignation of Welby will influence any action the Catholic Church takes?
No, I don't necessarily think so. I think that both of them, both the Anglican Communion and the Catholic Church, have put in lots of safeguards over the past 10 years, especially. It's something that Archbishop Welby and Pope Francis have been committed to. But as I say, there have been these problems with mishandling of cases, and I think the hope is that going forward, these will be handled better. But certainly, I think there's been a sort of parallel development of safeguards within both the Anglican Communion and the Catholic Church.
You've reported on the Church of England for years, in addition to your work on the Catholic Church, of course. Edward, how will this impact the Church of England moving forward? I mean, you've written again about the Church being on the brink of schism before.
Yes, I mean, it is a schismatic church, the Anglican Church. It's already, we consider it to be that. And I think that whatever moral authority it's had over the past 500 years, it's been severely weakened, especially in the last 10 to 30 or even more years. And this, I think, is just going to further weaken that moral authority. It's been a persistent criticism of the Anglican Communion, the Church of England, that it hasn't upheld the teachings of the Christian teachings, especially under Archbishop Welby's watch. It's been criticized as becoming a very leftist church, a very communion, and adopting very much sort of woke culture. So I think it's going to just further undermine that moral authority that it used to once have, up until fairly quite recently.
Edward Pentin, we are grateful for your insight and your reporting. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Catherine.